let's talk about free fertilizers for your garden. One of the things that I like to do for my garden, especially for my tomato plants, what else do I use this for? Peppers. Peppers love potassium. Now this is a jar that has been sitting with banana peels in it. And I make sure that the banana peels are covered. And so they're breaking down in this. And then I just keep on, there's probably about 6 banana peels in here. This is a larger jar, you can see. And I just keep on giving it to my bananas my peppers and my tomatoes. Also, I leave a link of other things that you can use for your bananas. I can't think of them right now. So that potassium that comes off these banana peels is a great boost for those plants. And so if your plants are needing potassium, it's just wonderful. Another great thing that you can put in your garden is this is rice. I'm going to grind this up and add it to my compost. I'm going to add it to my beds, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over, not directly on the plants, but around the plants. It's going to break down after I grind it up. It's going to break down slowly and just be a consistent feed to the garden. When you put this in the garden, you want to kind of just scratch that garden surface, and it will incorporate in the soil better. If you have, soil that you have heavy mulch on, just get through that heavy mulch and then scratch it in underneath that. Worms are so attracted to rice when it breaks down. It brings all kinds of good molds and good pathogens in the garden, and it just feeds your garden and feeds the worms. The worms absolutely love it and will be attracted to it. And we know worms soften our soil. They make pathways in our soil, so that softens our soil. And they also manure all over the place when they're eating stuff. And worm castings are one of the biggest and greatest things you can get for your soil. So here in Tennessee, where we're developing garden beds, because this homestead there was nothing on this, so we were developing land from scratch. And so I am literally making garden beds, and I have videos of that, and I'll leave a link to those videos where I'm actually making garden beds. So beautiful stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this up. You can also use cooked rice in your garden, and you will get faster results. This is kind of like, you could do cooked rice about once a month and put it in your bed, and then in between you always will have this rice working too. The cooked white rice works faster, attracts those worms better, breaks down faster, but you do not want to put that anywhere near your plants. If you are developing a garden bed, it's great to put in before you put plants in there. It will steal the nitrogen from your plants. And so you kind of just got to put it away like 6 inches away from your actual plant or more. It depends on how far those roots go out. And so you just want to kind of, but it's great. You just kind of dig a hole, put cooked rice in. You go to the get Chinese food, and you have all that white rice that you're probably not eating, or you are eating, but you can't eat as much as they give you. And you can go ahead and add that to your garden. And so you're not wasting that rice. We bought all this rice. We're not big rice eaters here, but we were adding it to our dog food. And I saw how good rice was for your garden. And another way that you can add rice to your garden is by, that when you soak your rice, when you're cooking your rice, just soaked rice and you let that, you add about maybe half a cup or a fourth of a cup to a quart-sized jar. Let that ferment, and then you add that to your garden, and it just boosts all your plants. It will boost your house plants as well. It's a great way to help your house plants out. And so I'm going to go ahead and grind this up, and I'm going to show you also what's in our compost. I just have a Ninja blender here. This is probably 3 cups of rice, so it's going to go a long way. Add a little bit of this to my compost. I keep a compost container in the house. I have 2 trash bins. Dog hair, there's pieces of grooming from plants, there's food in there, bread in there, onion peels, grapes, all kinds of stuff. And I usually don't let it get that full, but I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this rice. And then what I do with my food scrap compost is I put it in a compost tumbler. I'll show you guys that. Here's my compost tumbler. Now none of that touches the ground, so the worms are not going to get in this and work. That's the only thing about having a compost tumbler that that doesn't touch the ground. But I have all of that stuff in there, and it is breaking down. So I am going to add some rice to this one and this one as well. This is the newer compost compared to that one. They're all about kind of around the same time, because we got this one, we needed a new compost bin, because we were doing this method, and now this method is just you can see I have cardboard in there, and I'm always grabbing weeds to put in there that I haven't gone to seed. So that is what's breaking down that. Now for that, I am going to go ahead and add some of this rice, and I am sprinkling in that generously, and probably I'm going to shake that down, because worms don't come to surface very well. Now, that is going to start breaking this compost down even further. It's going to work better. So I will add the rice to both of these compost bins. So the rice is in there. But this isn't going to attract worms, but you're still going to get the beneficial of getting those nutrients in there that are going to break down. Now I'm going to add my food in here. Oops. And it's going to start breaking down. Now, there is a trick you can do if your compost isn't breaking down enough. You can buy or add our urine to your compost. That will make your compost break down in about 18 days. So if you are struggling with compost, this is rolled every day. It should be breaking down faster. Well, there's a lot of not a lot of greens in there, so I've been adding grasses and things in there, and so it needs to break down faster, because this is the compost that we have in the house. It has food in it, so I don't want it to stink, and I want it to roll more, so I keep it from stinking because I can roll it and it's breaking down faster. Well, I want it to break down even more faster, so I'm going to add some urine to it. You can buy granulated stuff at like your co-op or stuff like that, because you can buy that at places like that. So that will help your compost break down even quicker, like 18 days. And that just blows me away. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and add this. And I just ordered another one of these bins because the smell, I have a mother-in-law that is very put off by compost smell. And so she didn't like it when I had a compost bin. She could smell it all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and add that food to here now. And I'm only going to add it on this one side because now in this compost pile, this is what there's eggshells. It's good to crush those up a little bit before you put in there. There is clippings from my garden, my front garden, where every time I take off, deadhead roses or stuff like that, there is a little bit of my sourdough starter in there. All of that stuff is really, really great for your compost and is going to help it break down. So that's in there. Now we're going to put on our lid and give it a good stir. This compost over here needs to be wetter, so I need to add some water to that. And we're just going to give this a good stir after we put our stuff in there, and it will mix it together and help it break down faster. And then I will add some urine to this later. I don't need to show you guys that. It's just a little pelletized stuff that you can get. We got ours at the co-op. And so that's my composting, guys. That's how I add free stuff to my garden. There's also coffee grounds in here, and I like to put my coffee grounds in my compost because the coffee grounds will also grab nutrients from your plants. Because of the way it breaks down in the soil, unless you have a bed that doesn't have anything in it yet, it will rob your plants from nutrients as it breaks down. But it is amazing, and it attracts worms just as well as the rice. And it just brings so much goodness to your bed. So give this stuff a try, and next week I'll show you, or maybe later on this week, our next video will be when I need to give my tomatoes a boost, and I'll show you some ways that you can give your tomatoes and plants a boost. God bless you, and we'll see you guys next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead. Bye.